Trackside 6, sponsored by Turning Point Dental.
Tonight, the wait is over. It's May, and drivers far and wide have their eye on the famed Ford Warner Trophy. It's a month of memories, and Mario.
Hard to believe it's been 50 years since Mario's Indy 500 win back in 1969, but if you know anything about auto racing, well, then you know that's only part of his remarkable story.
Plus, from the Cathedral of Speed to a Cathedral of Baseball, how the name Steinbrenner is connecting the two iconic institutions. And to a place where the hard work begins. Turns out the road to Indy is built with a little blood, sweat, and tears. It's back to the Brickyard and the spectacle of all spectacles. Tonight on Trackside 6.
Live from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, this is an RTV6 News special, Trackside 6.
And we are live at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. A look at the famed pagoda and, dare I say, dark skies to the west, perhaps a little rain tonight. But we get set to go Grand Prix racing this weekend and later on, the 103rd running of the Indianapolis 500. Good evening to you. I'm Day First Brad Brown. Welcome to yet another month of May. I know I'm ready. You're ready,
it's
right?
always exciting to stand here on this first Thursday night. The anticipation of it all, hopefully a lot less of that coming.
This is the last time we'll see these dark clouds. There's so much excitement, anticipation going on, and that includes the IMS Museum.
One of the great spaces within this 2.5-mile oval over at the IMS Museum. Yeah. Just a couple weeks ago, they opened a new exhibit dedicated to the 50th anniversary of Mario Andretti's great win here in 1969. It's called Mario Andretti Icon. That winning car is on display, along with dozens of other pieces of memorabilia. It's open here at the Speedway throughout the entire month of May. It'll be here through the end of October. Fans can visit during regular track hours, and a lot to see there, and a great way to start off your month of May as well, Dave.
Yeah, Mario Andretti, that's where we'll begin tonight, and certainly the video game generation knows all about Mario, right? Super Mario, Mario Kart. Well before that, there was Mario Andretti, who arrived on the scene in 1965, won the Rookie of the Year here that year, and then put up some video game-like numbers all around the world. But as we celebrate this golden anniversary of his Indy 500 win, there's one thing that's missing for the Nazareth, Pennsylvania native, as we go at home with Mario.
There's a lot about Nazareth, Pennsylvania that remains unchanged. That includes Via Montana, home of the legendary Mario Andretti.
Yeah, this is all, what's accumulated over the years,
What a great photo here.
This is when I won the World Championship.
A little taste of Mario's man cave.
Look at this, by the way, the Channel 6 WFBM Checkered Flag Award.
Signed by all the drivers in 69.
Man, there's some names on this, man.
Ben Johncock, yeah, Gary Bettenhausen, Rookie, Donahue.
Joe Leonard, Lloyd Ruby.
They're all there.
And as you might imagine, winning Indy in 1969 takes up a large part of the memories and memorabilia.
50 years, Mario.
There's so much went on that entire month that now it all comes back.
The green flag is out, the world's fastest flying start, and the 1969 500-mile race is on.
That was the year Mario raced an older Bronner Hawk chassis after crashing his four-wheel drive Lotus in practice. A.J. Foyt lost laps midway through with a split manifold, but Mario's crew had issues with changing his right rear tire.
I didn't dare, spend another lap and get it back behind, so we decided to keep going, and I ran the whole 500 miles, on the same right rear tire, which was awesome.
But there were other close calls, including one late in the race.
I was just daydreaming, I think, toward the end of the race, and I think I came up on lap traffic a little bit too quick, and I had to go out of the blue in turn 2. And I figured, oh man, then I figured, man, I better buckle down here, I think.
And if that wasn't enough, there was fear that the car was overheating, burning up whatever oil that was left.
I knew that I felt that it was, we were on the verge of probably, breaking down. Many times I'm asked, what was the greatest moment? Really, there's no other moment than when you get the checkered flag.
And here's the checkered flag. Pat Vadan holds it and waves it for Mario and Andretti, winner of the 1969 500-mile race.
And of course, there's nothing like Victory Lane, which came complete with a famous kiss from car owner Andy Granatelli, as all shook a winless streak at Indianapolis.
Have you wondered, if I don't win in 69, what else may not have happened?
I've wondered that many times because, quite honestly, we know how Indianapolis, in so many ways, fair or unfair, it defines your career. Yeah. And I think in many ways it is unfair. And I know how it changes things for the better. I mean, Deanne even said it best, you know, she felt the big difference.
Deanne Andretti was there front and center for the photos with sons Michael and Jeff, and 7 months pregnant with daughter Barbie.
And now, you know, that we're able to, you know, just to celebrate the 50th anniversary of our win there. You know, well, she's still with me.
You say our win.
Our win.
It's a team thing, right?
Yeah.
You and Deanne.
Yeah, indeed.
Mario says none of his success would have been possible without his beloved Deanne. Channel 6 sports anchor John Totten visited the Andrettis back in 1966.
Especially this guy, he knows what's going on usually. He loves the races.
Does he?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
The matriarch of arguably the most prominent family in motorsports history died of a heart attack last July. She was 76, just 3 months shy of their 57th wedding anniversary.
Deanne went through some stuff here in your racing career, right?
My career, you know, was obviously pretty intense in so many ways, and she kept it all together. And I realize even more now than ever how selfish, you know, I was. And she never made me feel that way. You know, not once did she say, you know, what about us? Not once. And you know, I was not there for, you know, my kids' graduations. You know, I get reminded from Barbie now and then, you know, but, and now, you know, it's lonely without her. You know, it's a void that will never be filled. And I always say I was the one that was supposed to go first, you know, but we don't have that choice.
There are family ties all around.
91 and 92. Yep. Really, there's a lot of pride going into that, you know, to have 4 members of the same family.
Moments, mementos, and more.
You're on. Come on, Dave.
All right. You said they sold these around the world?
Yeah.
I still got it.
You still
got it, man.
Still got it. Look at the reaction time.
And from reaction time to all time, just a few steps away.
Look at this.
Just inside the front door, trophies and treasures.
Yeah, it's amazing what you accumulate, you know, over the years.
Representing accomplishments from 5 continents.
I like the way this is done, these little nuggets that pop up.
I purposely do that.
Rare items from Formula One.
And that's the FIA gold medal.
A rare medal from Italy.
You become what they say, commendatore. Basically, it's a civilian honor. I wish my mom and dad would have been here to see this.
From DuQuoin to Daytona, Japan to Germany, Langhorne to Le Mans.
This is the first ever trophy you've got.
First ever trophy that I got.
Okay, it says, I'll read this for Mario Andretti for ability under adverse conditions. Hey, little did they know back then how adverse some things would be, right?
But it all comes back to Indy. 50 years and the time he finished first.
Crazy how it kind of works out, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy, you know, just fate and things that no matter how hard you work towards something and everything, it's not a given, but you don't give up. You know, there's got to be, you know, some intervention from upstairs. I'm a believer of that, that's going to give you that moment, you know, and I think I had that.
He was so busy in 1969. Consider this. Out of the 52 weeks of the year, he was at a racetrack around the world for 37 of them. And the one holding down the fort back home was, of course, Deanne. By the way, that FIA gold medal, there are only 4 in existence. They belong to Juan Manuel Fangio, Michael Schumacher, Prince Rainier of Monaco, and, of course, Mario Andretti. We're back.
Still to come.
This is our routine every day. 2 hours a day we're here.
You better get up early to beat an Indy 500 champion. Brad Brown finds out how Tony Kanaan and Scott Dixon are as strong as ever. And later, move over Roger and Chip. Has owning a team become a young man's game? How George Steinbrenner IV has an eye on the present and the future when Trackside 6 continues.
We all know you can get the news
from RTV6 on your television,
but you can also get the latest info online
at theindychannel.com.
On the go, RTV6 and the Storm Shield apps.
Did you cut the cord? We got you covered.
Apple TV,
Roku,
Fire Stick,
Android TV,
Hulu,
PlayStation Vue, YouTube.
Alexa, what's in the news?
This is an RTV6 update.
No matter how you tune in, RTV6 is working for you.
When you donate your car, truck, boat, or RV to Goodwill, we'll tow it away free. You take the selling price off your taxes. The money stays in central Indiana. And just like that, one car gives a lift to an entire community.
This is May, and RTV6 is working for you. 70 years of excellence continues all month long. It's the greatest spectacle in racing, and RTV6 is leading the way. Join RTV6 driver analyst Tony Kanaan and sports director Dave First for serious fun. Plus, the RTV6 news team brings you all the action on and off the track. This is May. This is RTV6. Sponsored by Tag Heuer and Reese Nichols Jewelers.
Like coasters, you'll love Kentucky Kingdom. Thunder Run, a classic Woody. T3, terrifying. Lightning Run, insane. Storm Chaser, voted best new ride. Roller Skater, family fun. And new, the Kentucky Flyer, the year's most anticipated coaster. Engineered for thrill-seeking families. Kentucky Kingdom includes the region's best water park, Hurricane Bay. 2 great parks, 1 great price. Free drinks, free second day. Kentucky Kingdom and Hurricane Bay. More rides, more water, more fun.
Hiring Hoosiers, all new tomorrow.
It's hard work, but it's very good pay.
An industry overflowing with open positions.
Ready to provide you with not just a good job, but a good career.
How horizontal construction could be the right fit for you. All new at 6 a.m.
Famed Gasoline Alley at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Think of all the great champions that have walked through this area, and perhaps they'll christen and crown another new one later this month. Brad?
Dave, thanks. There's always the question that goes around, are race car drivers athletes? Back in the day, that may not have been the case, but in this day and age, the fact is that the men and women that drive these cars are some of the best conditioned in any sport in the world. So what does it take to keep that level of physical conditioning? Well, the short answer is a lot. I had a chance to catch up with 2 of the very best who are warriors in the gym, much like they are on the track. Minutes spent working here can lead to crucial seconds gained here. Pit Fit training on Indy's northwest side is the epicenter for drivers from multiple series to prepare their bodies for the physical grind of seeking speed on the track.
What we're trying to achieve is to get better in the race car. And the unique process here is it's very tailored to each driver.
At 44 years old, Tony Kanaan is the oldest current driver in IndyCar. The TK is also an elite physical specimen. His twice, sometimes 3-a-day workouts here have kept him at the top of his game.
I'm not getting any younger, so I'm actually probably in the best shape of my life. 10 years ago, I would get by with 2-3 times a week. You didn't have to do much. You still be able to drive the car. Nowadays, it's something that everybody actually raised their game. Then you have to keep up.
Scott Dixon is known as the Iceman at the track. He holds that same icy stare in this setting. Now a 5-time IndyCar Series champ, Dixon wears himself out here regularly as a way of keeping himself out in front on race day.
Now it's become so much more than just working the body. It's high level, high intensity intervals to reaction to, a lot of mind things. I think a lot of people forget how tough the ovals are mentally, and that's, you know, a big challenge.
Jim Leo is the guru behind the workouts at PitFit Training. He's been working with racers and race teams for more than 20 years. PitFit is at the forefront of innovative and new ways of keeping drivers in tip-top shape.
There's a structure to everything that we do, so while on the outside it might look like it's just, you know, kind of thrown together like a recipe and you hope that it comes out of the oven okay, there's actually a structure to the way that it's done. It all stays within certain standards, but within those standards there's a lot of freewheeling kind of thought process that goes into it.
With every rep, with every breath, these drivers are just as competitive in the gym as they are on any hairpin turn or straightaway.
The last 50 laps of the Indy 500 is so high intensity, so you're trying to cover the endurance things so that you're mentally really, you know, coherent at the end, but also, you know, you can react to those high intensity parts.
Sometimes you fool yourself. You think you're doing something, but it's really not doing anything. You know, being more specific with them, their knowledge, we became more active, and then actually I'm working out less hours nowadays than I used to, and then I'm in a lot better shape because it's more efficient.
Catch your breath right there. That workout we saw was 5,000 meters on that vertical ski machine. Jim has more than 400 clients that do PitFit Training online, and he's soon to open a new shop in Charlotte, North Carolina. We'll be back.
Coming up.
In theory, you could hire a driver that's actually older than you are.
Yeah.
There's a fresh face in IndyCar, but George Steinbrenner IV is already succeeding with some very proven ideas. Plus, from victory lane to memory lane, Rick Mears, 40 years ago, when Trackside 6 continues on RTV6.
Is everything okay?
What is happening?
Nothing good.
I need to talk to Bailey.
I would not do that.
A to B is coming at you. I'm here for the real deal.
And with 30 men to choose from, who's to say what will attract her?
Come on already.
The Bachelorette premieres Monday on ABC.
Cute.
You gotta get to Rallies and Checkers. 4 items for just $3? Nobody competes with that. Get a Rally Burger, a spicy chicken sandwich, or a crispy fish sandwich. Fries, pie, and a drink for $3. The 4 for $3 deal. Rallies and Checkers. Fast foodies know the deal.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engine. The Indy 500 is on at Andy Moore Toyota in Avon, where more means more.
Lease a new 2019 Camry or RAV4, just $189 a month. Or save big with 0% APR for 60 months on select new 2019 Highlanders, Siennas, and Tundras.
Take the pole position with crowd-pleasing deals and transparent pricing.
We have what you're looking for at Andy Moore Toyota in Avon.
Finish faster when you start your deal online at andymoretoyota.com.
There is upward mobility in Indiana.
A new job, a better life. Find your perfect balance.
We're over 200 open positions.
A job with better pay that satisfies.
Those 100 credentials you can earn for free with the state right now.
You can make as much money as you want.
Watch Hiring Hoosiers only on RTV6 News.
In every home, on every television screen, communicating opportunities.
Forget festivals. Have you been to a Rallies and Checkers Feastival? We're talking steak on a juicy burger, smothered in cheese. Steak covered in French onion sauce and crispy onions. There's even steak loaded up on fries. Just $2 each. Rallies and Checkers. Fast foodies know the deal.
Take you back to March 24th, Circuit of the Americas down in Austin, Texas. Colton Herta, just days before his 19th birthday, getting his first career IndyCar win. The youngest in series history, and the first one for one of IndyCar's newest teams. Welcome back to this Trackside 6 special, live here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. George Michael Steinbrenner IV has known Colton for years. They hung out together in Europe and one day dreamed of perhaps being in IndyCar. Well, now they both are. And for George, the future is now. There are many paths to the IndyCar series, and while many have dreamed of one day being a driver, George Michael Steinbrenner IV has always wanted to walk through the pits as an owner. But before he got here, it actually started here in Global Rallycross. George is working with Colton Herta's father's team.
A couple of years ago, did you have any idea that your career path would be where it is today?
I always had a dream of being an IndyCar owner or being in some sort of
role in the IndyCar series. It came a lot sooner than expected. I was working in rallycross for Brian Herter Rally Sport, and Colton decided to come back to America, and we sort of just looked at each other saying, we got the same dream, why don't we chase it together?
And the chase is on. Colton is the 19-year-old phenom. George is the 22-year-old who's far from finished when it comes to his goals.
You look around the paddock area, Rogers, not young, Chips, not exactly young, but now you come along at 22 years old. You are literally the next generation.
Yeah. Being so young, it's an interesting experience. I think I'd bring in an entirely different perspective.
Sure.
I was lucky with Colton to have a friend of several years to sort of learn the driver-owner relationship and that dynamic.
He comes about his relationships in professional sports quite honestly. His grandfather is George Steinbrenner, the legendary owner of the New York Yankees. And his dad, Hank, now the co-chairman of the team and a former team owner in the NHRA.
How much of what they did has helped you along to this point?
What they've done is really set the example. Just sort of the amounts of success that my grandfather had.
Yeah, there's not a lot of losing in the family.
No,
here, so.
No. Yeah. And it prepped me for IndyCar because there's a lot of losing in IndyCar.
Is trying to get his first NTT IndyCar Series victory.
Out of 10 teams, only one can win any given weekend, although for George, you'd never know it.
Colton Herta is going to go to victory lane.
It took exactly 2 races to win their first race this season. Colton, the youngest ever driver to celebrate in victory lane, with George in the middle of it all.
The last thing you want to do is make losing okay.
Exactly. That's the very last thing you want to do.
Yeah.
It's about the checkered flag, it's about victory lane, it's about the trophies, it's about the milk, it's about the wreath, it's about kissing the bricks. So for us, not taking losing well, not accepting just okay, I think will be the greatest thing that I could have had passed on to me from the generations before.
So during practices, the owners listen closely to Colton's radio communications. George standing next to co-owner Mike Hardy and strategist Brian Barnhart.
3, 2, 1, on the marks.
And the countdown is on for many more wins in seasons to come.
All I really want is to just have a car out there, especially by 10 years from now, that we can go into St. Pete or whatever race is first 10 years from now and think we have a shot at a championship.
You're in it for the long haul.
I'm looking to be in it for the long haul, yeah. This isn't a one and done. I'm looking to be in this paddock for as long as I can.
George has other IndyCar connections. His cousin is Tony Renna, who sadly died in a testing accident here at the Speedway some 15 years ago. And his uncle is Chris Simmons, a longtime engineer for Scott Dixon. There is no doubt that George feels right at home in IndyCar.
Still ahead, what began with a single win ended with a true legend at the Brickyard. A look back at Rick Mears' first win at Indy 40 years ago. And it's the right stuff. Before their race on the oval, IndyCar hits the road this weekend. A peek at the Grand Prix, next on Trackside 6.
For this to be allowed to happen it's an injustice.
RTV6 is working for you.
Workers from a recently closed Scotty's Brewhouse location are turning to RTV6, complaining they have not been paid.
Providing a voice for people who have nowhere else to turn.
Wanted to do an interview with the owners of Pots and Pans Production.
Helping to solve their problems.
After RTV6 interviewed several employees, the company reversed that decision.
No other station in town is working for you like RTV6.
I'm offering a training class free to the public.
A 4-week course prepares students to test for the Ready to Work certificate.
Mark Mullins reconnected with the people moved by his story to find personal success.
I initially learned about this watching Channel 6 News.
After the news story ran, we had over 200 applicants for the class.
And you can feed your family off of it, you can retire from it, you can make a living from it. And you opening doors for people who actually never knew those doors were even there.
Today is a special day because today, someone donated the most passionately sought-after item known to humanity. The little black dress. I got it. You want it. The only question is, which store am I taking it to? Happy hunting.
Those days, you look up and a line is literally being drawn in the sky.
You've got twin storms here.
Moments like these make us all a little anxious.
Reds within the green indicate rotation.
Storm Team 6 is here, working for you. Streaming, tweeting, live on Facebook. Reaching you any way possible to make sure you get through it safe and sound. More people turn to Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory and Storm Team 6 during severe weather than anyone else.
Every legend has an origin story. 40 years ago, Rick Mears won the pole position in just his second year at the 500, sharing the front row with Tom Sneva and past champion Al Unser. The race saw Bobby Unser lead for nearly half of the first 180 laps, but a gearbox problem for Bobby moved Mears to the front. He rolled to the win after a late caution. Mears' first of 4 trips to Victory Circle at Indianapolis.
We ran all day. The guys did a great job with the car, getting the setup, following the track, and keeping the car competitive, and to be able to have us in the right place at the right time toward the end. And that's where I've been so fortunate to be able to put the numbers together. To me, it just shows the depth of this team, the strength of the team. That those guys were, have given me the equipment over all those years to be able to be in the hunt often enough to be able to get that many wins.
Time to go to work. The IndyCar Grand Prix gets on track this weekend. 2 practices tomorrow for IndyCar, 9:10 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. Knockout qualifying starts at 4:30, leading up to the Fast 6 to run for pole. Race day Saturday. The gates open at 7:30 a.m. and the green flag will wave for the race at 3:50.
And join us next Thursday, another RTV6 Trackside 6 special, catching up with Robert Wickens from being the Indy 500 Rookie of the Year to that devastating crash at Pocono. The road to recovery continues. Robert opens up about every intense moment of 2018 and how his racing career is far from over. That and more next Thursday at 7:30 here on RTV6. I don't know how we imagine. It's just not raining. How did this happen?
It's on the way, but we'll hold it off.
Can it stay this way for the entire month? Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Enjoy our coverage right here on RTV6.
Trackside 6, sponsored by Turning Point Dental. Watch Trackside 6 with Dave First and driver analyst Tony Kanaan, only on RTV6.